Welcome back to the continuation of the build of the Tamiya Yamaha XV1000 Virago. And in this video, I'll be doing steps 10, 11, and 12, which includes the exhaust system and the fuel tank. Now, I know it shows starting with the mufflers and the exhaust system. However, I want to do this first. And that's get the two pieces for the fuel tank together so that the glue will set up quite nicely. Now I have already painted these with the primer coat, and it'll get another coat of primer as I'll have to sand the seam, and these fit together quite nicely. As such, and what I'll use is a Tamiya liquid cement, to glue these together, and I'm going to run this on the inside along that entire seam, like so, and then I'm going to hold it together for a few seconds and give that a chance to set up just a little bit. And it's a little hard to see in the video, I'm sure, but you can see the seam that runs right down the middle of the fuel tank. And as anybody knows that's been around motorcycles for 5 minutes, there's generally not a seam you can see on the fuel tank. So this will set off to the side, and I'll let that glue get good and dry and let it set up. And this is going to be something that I'll let set up overnight just to make sure that it gets a good bond, because I am going to be sanding and taking that seam out. So we're going to set that off to the side, and I'm going to get started on the exhaust. Now most of these pieces are chrome, and I have already scraped off the areas that are going to attach together, like so, so that the chrome plating will not cause a problem with adhering with the glue. And to do that, I just simply use an X-Acto knife and follow along the lines where the parts will connect together. And I seem to get a better bond than just going where the little nibs are to hold it together. Now this does have another piece that goes on. And as you can see, I hold it upside down, and this piece is going to fit like so onto there, and I have not scraped the paint off of that, so we're going to do that real quick. And again, I'm using the Tamiya liquid cement. And we place this piece right inside this little slot. And then we'll set that off to the side and let that set up real nicely. And the next up, we have another piece of the exhaust, because it does have a dual exhaust on this. And these fit together quite nicely. Now I do the glue a little differently this way. I actually go to the exhaust port and add a couple of drops and let that just run inside, and it will run like water, and fill the seam up with the glue. And then once again, I'll set that off to the side. And then we come to the air cleaner, which is simply a piece of chrome. And we have another piece of chrome that's going to connect to this piece. And make sure that you get the orientation correct. With these, because they do connect in other parts. Now I'm not going to glue these pieces together completely. Until I'm ready to put them on the bike itself. And that's because this piece needs to line up with a part on the engine. But I am going to scrape the chrome off of the mounting point. Like so. And I just use the X-Acto knife and just do a little light scraping. And the chrome, unless it's a really old model kit, you're usually not going to have a problem with the chrome coming off this way. On some of the older kits, I've found that in order to strip the chrome, believe it or not, I use Easy Off Oven Cleaner, which will take the chrome off in a relative short amount of time. Now, I have heard of people using bleach. I've never had any luck with that personally, so I can't vouch for that particular way of doing things. And we've got that piece, and I'm going to go ahead and glue this piece in. And give that a chance to set up and dry real good before I finagle the other piece. Yes, that's right, I said finagle. And that'll line up with the engine. So there we have the exhaust pieces, and I'll give that a chance to dry. And in part 2, we'll attach that to the bike. So that's coming up next. Hey, welcome to another Harry's Hobbies video. I'm still working on the Yamaha XV1000 Virago. And right now, I've got the rear part of the motorcycle pretty much put together. As you can see, here, and what I'm working on right now is I'm getting the exhaust system ready to go. And this is actually the second part of a 2-part video that will be posted together, but I'm doing this part live just because I thought I could. So here I am. So I'm assembling the exhaust system, and I've already put the mufflers together, and I have the tailpipes out here ready to go. And the exhaust crossover pipe is right here as well. So you got to flip this bad boy upside down. And this piece connects in here. With part of it connecting right there on a little nib. And I take the Tamiya cement and put a little bit in there. And I've already scraped the chrome off of the spots where the glue is going to hold it in place. Well, hopefully. There we go. Sit in there and set up for a minute. And while that's setting up, I'll show you guys a little bit of this. This is some more of the detail that's going to be going into this. I'm not even at these steps yet. But what we have, this is steps 10, 11, and 12 that I'm working on right now. And then we get around to the front and we put in the backrest. There's a lot of detailing involved with those steps that, and I haven't even painted the fuel tank yet. And that's, since that's part of this particular step 10, 11, and 12, this is step 12 right here. And I've got it partially sanded and reprimed for the base coat of paint. And I haven't decided what color I'm going to go. There's really only going to be 3 main parts that are going to be painted a color. So I'm contemplating just going with a gold color for the tank and the 2 side plates that'll go on in the following steps as well. And I've only got, after the sanding and making sure that that tank is the seam, you can't really see the seam between these 2 pieces. So, and there'll be another coat of primer that'll go on here still. That hasn't been painted on as yet. So, but back to putting this bad boy together. And we'll see if this will slip up through here like it's supposed to. Doesn't look like it's going to go that way like it's supposed to. I may have to take the center stand off for a minute so I can get this lined up correctly. Ah, good. The main piece fell off. That's not what I wanted it to do. But it'll help get this piece up in here. There we go. Yeah, occasionally you just have to do a little finagling to get these to fit in their proper place. At least that glue had not set up completely yet. I'm kind of glad that it did kind of fall off like that. It gives me a chance to get these other pieces lined up. And their configuration. Get some glue on them. And let those start setting up. And we've got the other tailpipe. It goes in place right here. And like I said, I've already got the chrome stripped off of the gluing areas. It looks like this is going to be a case where I'm just going to have to hold it for a minute or two. I think I'm just going to fall back and use some Gorilla Glue on this, because I do want to get a good bond. I can get it to come out of it. Man, it's hard to squeeze. That one might be the almost empty one. Actually, I think this is the almost empty one. Either that or I need to get some more. There we go. We get some of the glue out of here. And put it in here. Get some along there. Get it to slide over. And the front exhaust piece will fit from here back to the pipe. I think I'm going to do that one, this one too. I'm just going to use the Gorilla Glue for this. Just for a better bond. And I'll let that set up for a while and get straightened out. And I'll put the center stand back on. And I'm not sure if I'm going to take photos or not, but we'll see. So I don't know if there'll be a slideshow after this one or not. Anyway, that's it for the live part. I'll post a version of this with part 1 of the video pretty soon. So hey, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.